And we're back. It is 9:40, coming up on 9:41 here on a Monday. My pleasure to welcome to the program Stacy Murphy, social worker at Laramie High School, as well as a couple of Laramie High School students, as Megan and Sarah are with us this morning here as we talk about Mental Health Awareness Month going on. And Stacy, talk about the Suicide Prevention Community Forum coming up on Thursday. Sounds like this will be an opportunity for people to learn and ask questions about suicide prevention.
That's right. We have a lot of community members coming to help educate about suicide prevention and also to educate about what kind of resources we have in our community.
What do you talk about with students since you're working at the high school in terms of suicide prevention right now?
We want to talk about risk factors, what to look for, and then what to do if you're worried about yourself or a friend feeling suicidal.
Unfortunately, we've had a couple incidents this year in the district, but this forum, it sounds like it's going to address a number of different topics. What are they going to be discussing? And a number of different organizations are going to be in attendance, it sounds like, as well.
That's right. Grace for Two Brothers, a suicide prevention group, is coming over to do some education at the forum, and that'll be a part of it. And then we have people from the University of Wyoming, the hospital, the crisis center, and a number of other agencies who are going to come and talk about what kind of things that we can do to help the community in the efforts of suicide prevention.
Obviously, you want to prevent it, but also good to find out what should happen should tragedy strike and what kind of resources you can call on as well.
That's right.
Since, unfortunately, we've had a couple incidents, how has the reaction been? I mean, what is the response when a tragedy like this strikes? I mean, what kind of course of action is there for students in particular?
Our students have been very proactive about wanting to get involved and help educate our students as well as our community in what to do, and mostly around awareness around mental health issues, because suicide is almost always related to a mental health issue. And
it's coming up this Thursday. Where and when? And anybody in the community welcome to attend?
Everybody is welcome. It's May 21st, this Thursday at 6:30. It'll be held at 509 South 9th Street. That's the Special Services Building for the school district.
Okay. I think that's what the old Whiting High School building, I want to say.
That's right.
They took over the Thayer building. I gotta have all my balance of which building is which now. But 509 South 9th Street, 6:30 this Thursday. And again, what to do if you or someone you know might be at risk. They've got information and statistics. You can visit with mental health professionals, as Stacy Murphy mentioned. And that's coming up this Thursday. I'm going to bring in our students here who are going to talk about a mental health awareness walk. Sarah's going to join me first. The walk's coming up next Friday, the 29th. I guess first as a student, why did you guys decide to do a walk this year?
Well, we decided to, we wanted to bring in mental health awareness to everyone and show them that there is like a way to help.
The Mental Health Awareness Walk, and there's also a barbecue. When, where, how do people get involved?
It's on May 29th at DTI Stadium from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And you can just show up. It's open to everyone. Yeah. All
right. Sponsored, Megan, by the Laramie High School Hope Coalition. Talk a little bit about the coalition and what you as students have done with this.
We started this year just kind of with everything that's been going on at our school. A group of us students just really felt compelled to take action on this, so we formed this Hope Coalition as a way to educate ourselves as well as help to educate others in our school about it, raise awareness about mental health and suicide prevention and anything that we can do to help.
You mentioned it's been a tough year on the students at LHS. How is the student body kind of doing right now, would you say? And what have you even learned? And I'll even ask that same question to Sarah here in a moment. What have you learned about this here, starting this coalition up?
Definitely. Well, even just one suicide in our school was a huge shock. And then we had another one. And I think that we have really come together as a community and really helped to focus on preventing that and what we can do, because it has so much to do with their surroundings and what's going on in their lives, and there's things that we can do to help that. So it's just been really cool to see everybody kind of change from this in a good way from such a tragic event.
Yeah. What have you learned about it here, Sarah? What's your experience been like here this year?
Well, it was definitely a shock with the first one, and then the second one coming up. I knew her pretty well. So I guess I learned that the school could come together. A lot of the students came together and people started being friends with people that they weren't already friends with. And I guess like it just pretty much showed that like how close someone can come to another like in tragedy.
Yeah. Stacy, what you've seen out of the growth, the development of the students here with this Hope Coalition and just kind of bringing mental health awareness here during this month of May?
I've really seen the students really taking care of each other, as well as the faculty. They're very committed to making sure that everybody knows that they can reach out and talk to someone and get the help that they need. It's been really pretty amazing.
In terms of these kids kind of coming together to put together this mental health Hope Coalition at the high school, what kind of prompted this? And how have you seen it grow, I guess?
Many students came to counselors and teachers and said, what can we do? And the faculty just took action and said, we need to really honor that. Debbie Bastion took the lead and got these students together. They've met. They found a sponsor in Well Dog. They have a lot of things coming up in the next school year. So this is going to grow and grow. And really, they're just kicking off right now with this mental health awareness walk, but it's going to go from there. Again,
the Suicide Prevention Community Forum is this Thursday, and then the Mental Health Awareness Walk is next Friday. Not this coming Friday, but next Friday, the 29th, right after the half day of school. You can take part. D-Ty Stadium, 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You mentioned the kids kind of spurring things on. What are they talking about in terms of future things to do so that maybe we can prevent this unfortunate kind of disease from happening again?
Continued mental health awareness, doing some education in the school building, and also doing a little bit more community outreach.
Yeah, you mentioned the administration's been very supportive. What types of things and you being part of the faculty over there at Laramie High School as a social worker in the school, what kind of steps do you think the high school has taken to learn from what has unfortunately happened in terms of a couple tragedies this year?
We've done a training, suicide prevention training called More Than Sad for all of the faculty. There'll also be a student component that's coming up. Our district has been very proactive even before this in putting a lot of mental health classes in place. We have some classes that focus completely on emotional regulation. Just letting the students know who and where and what to do when they're feeling down, or if they're worried about a friend. What's the discussion been like? I'll turn to you here, Megan. In terms of the student body, just what's the discussion been like in terms of getting this coalition going, and just some of the topics that you guys have discussed, and how nice it's been to kind of have, maybe as Sarah mentioned, new and different friends and a different shoulder to lean on.
I think that as students, we just kind of each individually wanted to take part and help make a difference. And so we all just came together as the Hope Coalition to do that. And we've discussed a whole bunch of different issues and ways that we can help raise awareness more different than just any other class about what to do about depression and stuff like that. So we're just trying to do some things that are different that will get through to our students, and I think that this is a huge time for that because it's so prevalent right now.
This for either one of you, so feel free to take the mic if you need to, Sarah, but with such a difficult time, has it been nice to have some different people to talk to? Because you just never know. Sometimes people show signs, sometimes they don't, and if you don't talk with folks, it can be very difficult if it's not out there in the open to help somebody. I guess as a student, do you feel kind of trapped by that at different points in times, Megan?
I think that with everything that's been going on, it's been huge seeing who's there, and you might not have realized that they were there. And I think it's tough for people that have known really well that it's easy to blame ourselves for it, but this whole year with it has really shown as a group, as a community, there's so much we can do, but it's not necessarily something that we didn't do. But it's really important as the Hope Coalition, we're focusing on moving forward from this and preventing things from happening in the future as opposed to being stuck in what has happened.
And it just doesn't come down to you. Everybody getting involved certainly helps out. So
right.
I appreciate everybody coming in, and kudos to you two as juniors for stepping up and coming on and talking about this topic. And Stacy, thanks so much for bringing this to our attention, and want to spread the word again. Stacy, I'll let you kind of talk here lastly, remind everybody about the forum and then the mental health awareness walk, if you will, please.
The community forum is May 21st. That's this Thursday at 6:30 at 509 South 9th Street, the old Whiting High School. And then the Mental Health Awareness Walk is at the high school, DTI Stadium. There will be a barbecue, there will be bands, and there will be shirts and resources for the community members who come out. That's May 29th, 11 to 1:30.
At DTI Stadium. So thanks so much for coming in and sharing about this topic. It's very important. There's no doubt about that.
Thanks for having us.